Most of us have at least a few bad habits we rely on to get through times when we feel stressed or overwhelmed. Mine is procrastination. Procrastination has so permeated most of my adult life in one way or another that I've decided to do a deep dive into it, how it's experienced, what kinds of things cause it, what people have come up with to deal with it, and how I've learned to deal with it. Procrastination is a highly complex topic. I want to begin by relating a personal story. I have many of them. There's been a project very close to my heart for a number of years now. I put part one together in a flurry of excited and engaged activity. Then, when it didn't take off as I wanted it to, I lost interest to the extent that it took a lot of coaxing from others to get going on the next part. This finally happened. It was successful, and yet I had this deep-seated reluctance to go full blast with it again. I had lost confidence in myself over my ability to make this a successful offering, even though I knew the subject matter very well. No amount of encouragement from others really convinced me otherwise. But I'm in the habit of never giving up, so I kept making an effort. I would plan. I would develop exceedingly reasonable schedules. Then, well, things would come up, anything really, and it would go nowhere. The things that would come up were interesting, but they weren't helpful. These varied from taking needed courses, maybe I don't know as much as I think I tell myself, to digging a garden, a delightful distraction and so good for my health, to making bread, useful, right? Anything and everything. If I determined to sit in front of my computer until something was really done to further my plan, hours later, I discovered that all kinds of things separated me from writing down a single word or taking any action at all for my project. This kept happening over days, then weeks, then months. In fact, it would probably still be happening if someone hadn't openly wondered what was going on. I seemed to be doing everything right, and yet nothing was happening. That was a serious wake-up call for me. I'm a counselor. I had been doing personal work for years on myself and helping others, also for years. And yet, here I was, still stuck in an old familiar pattern of log-jammed procrastination. I had developed something I so wanted to do and offer the world. And for some seemingly inexplicable reason, I was letting it slip from my grasp. How sad is that? I decided that this time it was not going to happen. This time I took a different tack. I went out to the woods, fasted, communed with nature, asked myself what I truly wanted going forward and what was inside me that was standing in my way. I drew, I jotted down all my dreams and images, any symbols that showed up, any animals that showed up. And I meditated. I made poetry. I wrote down all my deepest thoughts, my deepest longings, and finally, my biggest fears. That experience led me to other personal ceremonies until a few years later, I felt much better equipped to deal with my inner procrastination demon. The thing is, it's still there, but so much smaller and less effective in its ability to sabotage. I really have moved from where I was. My hope is that I continue to improve, going after what gives me passion wholeheartedly once more. This series is about what I personally discovered, along with what others discovered on their own journey of overcoming procrastination. Next time we meet, I'll review what procrastination is and the many ways it manifests. I hope to see you there.